up, when your mom and dad don't speak English, you have to do everything for them. I can't even do my homework. I'm filling out disability forms. I've been translating my whole life. English to Spanish, Spanish to English. I'd rather be bisexual than bilingual. It is easier on the tongue.
We are here with one of the hottest rising comedians in stand-up comedy. He has his stand-up special, Translate This on HBO. He has his podcast, What's So Full, and he has his tour coming out called Bad Decisions. My friend, Felipe Esparza. Sit down, D. 3, 2, 1. Wow.
Casi termino encima de ti. I'm sorry.
He's a big guy too. I didn't think you were so tall, but you're really tall in person.
He's a tall Mexican.
Yeah.
They say
Oh, you're Mexican.
They say the camera adds 10 pounds. I must have ate them.
Wait, Felipe, man, you know, we've talked about this before. Like, I've seen your career, you know, start from when you were the bit player on independent movies, and seeing you at the Improv, and people starting to, like, you know, learn who you are, figure you out, try to understand what you're saying, and then all of a sudden now, people not only understand what you're saying, they're getting it, they're learning, and they're watching you on HBO. We had to Translate This special, all right? You got the tour coming up. How do you feel about your career right now? Do you feel like you finally made it? Look, Ma, I made it.
I feel like, wow, it took forever.
That's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah.
People think like it took like, oh man, you have an overnight success. I said, wow, man, how long did I sleep? You too, man. You come a long way, man. There's actually 3, 4 cameras now.
Dude, look at this.
You have a beautiful girl now.
Yeah, we're getting
Feel for yourself.
It's the real deal. It's the real deal.
No, you know,
Stylist over here.
no, he's
exactly.
Mr. Style. Now, I met this guy. I believe the first interview we did was in the taco shop, which is finally coming out, by the way, next
No
year.
way.
It's finally coming out.
What is it, a taco shop?
No, it's called Taco Shop, a movie. A movie.
We made a movie called Taco Shop. We shot it in Watts, and it was very low budget.
Right.
Very low budget. We had to stop production because it was a drive-by shooting.
Are you serious?
Across the street.
Oh my gosh.
That's
And,
life.
people thought it was part of the movie, so the cop never showed up.
Oh my gosh, that's supposed to be so scary.
It was, man.
Wait a minute. This is real.
No, so
Yeah.
I meet this guy. He plays what, like a big luchador type character?
I play a guy that people don't understand what I'm saying, which is pretty much every day of my life.
But you've gotten better though. Was there like a process in your progress as a speaker where you're like, let me make myself a little bit more understandable, but not too much, because then
Man, when I got the line for that movie, I saw the lines, and I saw like their lines, and I saw my line. My line was just say whatever you want.
Oh wow.
So I would say like, instead of saying go over there, I would say, and then I try to say that line again, another scene, and they say, you already said another scene, another scene.
Does your show Translate This has to do with that part of like the
No,
people understanding you, or is it
It
more
has
the
to be
language
more
thing?
about a language thing. Like my mom and dad, they've been living in America 40 years.
Wow.
No, 30 years, and they still can't speak English.
Oh honey, I know a lot of
I'm
people
like,
like that.
deport them right now.
It happens.
I mean, you can't say Cheesecake Factory, get the hell out of here.
That's funny.
Wait, do your parents even know what HBO is? Are they?
My mom knows now because she saw the
grasping
billboard.
this?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Does she have Facebook? Of course.
No, we know what my aunt does though.
Okay, they're progressing here
It's
slowly.
weird, like just watch my aunt dating, you know.
Oh, she's dating on Facebook?
She's dating a young guy, like you, man, young.
Wait a minute, how old is your aunt?
That's a thing
My
now. with
aunt
older
is like,
ladies.
she has to be like 59.
Wow.
60
Love is
something?
alive.
62,
Okay.
dating this
Alive.
38-year-old guy.
Wepa!
Oh,
Oh.
tell me. Let me know what she's doing after the show.
Whatever I'm saying this, I'm putting her out there, man.
No, that's fine, because we're all gonna, like, me and Bruno are gonna ask, because I'm young and he's younger, so Dennis is not gonna. He'd rather go on a date with you. How was it? How did it feel to be driving down Sunset Boulevard? I don't know if you drive down Sunset Boulevard. See yourself on a billboard for Translate This for the HBO special. Like, how did it feel for you?
I was like, I told my Lyft driver to pull over first.
Wow.
And then I saw it, and I'm like, wow, man.
Did you take a
Felipe
picture?
Esparza. I took a picture of it.
Was your driver like, is that you?
He didn't believe me. No, he didn't believe me. He was like, "That's mentiroso."
We also talk about, you've gotten to a point that your humor is translating, meaning you can go play Middle America and they get you. Can you talk about how your humor has
Yeah.
been able to translate to non-Latino audiences over your career?
Well, at first I was worried about like most Latinos, you know, anybody who performs, they want to cross over, you know, like to the Midwest or be crossover, whatever that is, you know. But one day, you know, I was talking to Paul Rodriguez, and he said, "Don't worry about crossing over. If you're funny, they're gonna cross over to you." So I didn't change anything, you know, like. Maybe I talk slower when I went to the South, you know, or Alabama, but I didn't change anything.
Were you always like the life of the party, or like in family reunions, were you the typical kid that was, you know, would stand up and tell a joke or something like that? Was this in you ever since you were little, or
No.
did you develop the sense of
I
humor?
was shy, man.
Were
My brother Fernando, he was like the more funnier one, you know, he was very funny. And I would just steal his jokes and then say them later when he was not there. And people ask me, were you the class clown? No, I used to open up for him.
That's cute.
What are the kind of things that you talk about in your stand-up act today?
I talk about, you know, growing up, you know, and it was with a bunch of kids, you know, there were 7 of us.
Oh my gosh.
6 brothers, 1 sister. She learned how to pee standing up.
It's a little like me in the zoo. You know, I'm learning how to
teaching
pee
you.
standing up myself, you know, because I'm with these guys so much.
Yeah.
So I
Dennis
get your
pees-
sister.
I pee sitting down.
Yeah, he sees him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're switching here. Something is all I
He's
want to
Comfortable when you sit down and you pee, you know, I'm just saying.
Go, get in there, Dennis. I
Okay,
already have a
well,
good
so
question.
you're one of how many kids again?
7 kids.
7 kids.
I'm the
Are
oldest.
you're the oldest?
Yeah, the oldest.
Oh my God. So what was that like growing up?
So you know how it is when you're the oldest, you know, in a Latino home, you get beat up more.
You get beat up more? Didn't you
You
beat
get-
them
you
up?
get-
Oh,
because
by the
of
parents. No, by the parents.
by the
I'm the oldest too.
parents,
That is
okay.
absolutely true.
You're the rough draft.
You
know?
open the way for the other ones.
You're the rough draft of the family,
Okay.
you know. After your dad hits you with an ironing cord, he realized, no, this is bad.
Well,
So the
let's not
next
try this
kid,
one
he
more
don't
time.
get hit. He don't get hit with an ironing cord. You know, he gets hit with a belt. The next kid just yell at him.
I got the belt too, but that's a Mexican thing.
Yeah,
Belt.
I
That's
got
a
la
Latino
pala
thing. La
y el
chancla.
belt.
La
No, no, la
chancla.
chancla. Yo la pala de madera.
Instead of getting
wow.
a belt, how you wake up with an hecho en Mexico with a right there. or like us old school man had a llanta mark from the Huarachi.
Hey, this guy's been through a lot.
I had Goodyear.
That's before we go to
A lot
commercial.
of free advertisement on Felipe's.
Before we go to commercial and come back, that's awesome.
I was like a NASCAR.
Brand placement.
Take you, bro. It's another styling. She's a.
Back on the zoo with comedian Felipe Esparza, who has a tour coming up. So, man, you're fresh off this HBO special. A few years ago, you won Last Comic Standing, which was huge.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
And now you got this tour coming up. Is this the biggest tour you've ever done? It's called Bad Decisions,
It's
right?
actually my first ever tour ever done where I'm the headliner.
Nice.
Because I toured before with Russell Peters in Canada, George Lopez, Paul Rodriguez, and Gabriel Iglesias.
Wow.
And you like funded this whole thing. Like it was you and your wife who came up with the idea, and then you
Yes.
sold it to HBO, correct?
We sold it to HBO. They bought it, and they were very happy with it. They didn't change anything of it.
Nice.
But why do you call your tour Bad Decisions? Tell me about some of the bad decisions you've made in your life. Because the good decision is stand-up comedy.
Well, a lot about the decision I made, you know, like I remember one time I was doing cocaine, you know, off some woman's chest.
Oh.
And later on, I found out it wasn't cocaine, it was her deodorant.
Oh my God.
I like this guy.
Hey, what about he likes you
At
too?
least it smells good at home.
What about the baby mama situation?
Oh wow.
Tell me about the baby mama situation, the child support. How'd you handle that?
That was bad, you know. Like when I won Last Comic Stanley, I won $250,000.
How much of that money is left?
Oh man, none.
Of course.
Right after I won, my son's mom filed for child support.
Were you like
Yeah,
just?
she-
Did
she-
you go MIA on the baby? Is that what it was?
She went MIA on me.
Wait, she
so
went
she-
MIA on you?
Yeah, man. She won. She took half of the money, so she became the last baby mama standing.
How is the relationship with your child now, though?
It's good, you know, man. Sometimes, you know, I go to my daughter's web Facebook and I see that some people ask her, "Is that fat comedian your father?" And she writes, "Yes, F my life,"
Oh man.
F my life.
and tags me in that comment.
Oh, she tags you on it.
She's smart.
She's
Do you want
cynical.
her to go into stand-up comedy?
I want you to get into a job maybe first.
You know, it's funny, like, there's certain athletes and artists and entertainers who don't want their kids to follow in their
Right.
footsteps.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want your kids to follow in your footsteps into stand-up comedy.
No,
Was that a
man.
bad decision?
Yeah, it was a bad decision.
Not now,
Like to
though.
swallow it.
So I had my kids young, you know. I had my kids when I was in high school.
Wait, how many do you have?
I think 3.
Okay.
I don't know. We gotta check his DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruno.
Oh wow.
And how old are they now?
They're old, man. They could host this show.
Are you kidding me?
They're gonna take us 8. They're gonna replace
Do
us.
it. Wow.
I had my daughter when I was in high school. My son when I was in high school. I remember when her mom told me she was pregnant. I'll never forget that day. It was pizza day on Wednesday, you know.
And she had a big
said-
old topping to give
She
you,
said,
honey.
Felipe, I'm pregnant. And I picked up my lunch and I went to another table. I sent her a note. Are you pregnant? Yes, no, maybe. All right, pick a color. Are you pregnant?
Oh my God.
I was a young boy.
So you weren't
Hey, by
even
the
taking
way,
it seriously.
They have no idea what's going on. Right? You should see. I'm watching their faces as they're listening to the story. That's awesome,
epic.
Felipe. Thank you for that, by the way. The tour, where's it going? Where's Bad Decisions taking you?
We're going everywhere, man. We're going to Salinas, California next weekend. And Bakersfield, downtown LA, the Microsoft Theater. We're going in March or February, I forget the date. Ontario Improv sold out.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that's
good
repeats
stuff.
out there, yo.
Yeah, man. I do good in places wherever there's a Catholic church.
Several Catholic churches. More Catholic churches in a few
And
liquor
people
stores.
ask me, where do you have a hard time bringing people to the show? Anywhere in America where they call the cop constable. Or everywhere in America where the town is called township.
Oh, yeah. You go more for those like Latino
If
sounding
your
towns.
town
Yeah.
starts with san, I'm a kill it. Okay?
Hey Felipe, in your show, do you break into Spanish at times, or is it everything in English? Because I find, I don't know you, but like I think that Latin humor is a little different than
Right.
gringo humor.
Hell
Is
yeah.
yours more gringo, more Mexican? Is it a mixture of both?
I think it's more ghetto, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you grew up where, in Boyle Heights?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Like I
the good.
do say a lot of Spanish, but not too much, you know.
Okay.
I don't want to throw people off.
Okay.
Yeah, but on my special, I do say both English and Spanish.
Okay.
Like there's a joke where I would say that my dad would come home from work and look at me doing nothing, and he would say, "Ya valiste pura madre."
Ya valiste madre.
And then I would translate in English. He goes, "Man," my dad would look at me and goes, "Man, you and your mom ain't." You know, I'm translating it wrong.
I know.
But it's funny still.
It's still everything that you translate wrong is funny. Well, tell us about growing up in Boyle Heights, because you actually came up through Homeboy Industries, and a lot of people don't know about Father Boyle. It's Father Boyle, right?
Yeah,
It's a coincidence that it's Boyle Heights and Father
Father
Boyle.
Great Boyle,
I
he
didn't pick up
drove
on
me
that.
in, man,
Yeah.
to Homeboy Industry.
And how did that save your life? Did that get you out of
I
gangs?
grew up in a gated community, man. The windows were gated, the back door was gated.
I think there's a lot of Latino households.
I lived in a real bad neighborhood, man. I remember one time a new restaurant parked in front of my house.
New restaurant part or
Oh,
car
like
part.
a trunk thing? Is that what it is?
Well,
That's funny.
I got into a lot of trouble growing up, you know, because I got into a lot of drugs. You know, I smoked a lot of drugs, did a lot of drugs.
But like, what led you to that?
Oh, man, boredom, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I love the honesty.
Honestly,
What got you
same.
out of it though?
Boredom, man. Out of it, actually,
Comedy.
what got me out of it was actually not boredom. I had things to do now.
Okay.
Like when I was in rehab, somebody came in and said, write down 5 things you want to do in your life. Like your dreams. So I wrote, I have a dream where I'm naked in class. You know, not those kind of dreams, you idiot. So I wrote, I want to be a comedian. I like Olive Garden. Screw it, I want to go to Italy. And number 3, I don't know what to do. So when I came out of rehab, I went to the library and I looked up books on how to learn how to write, like comedy writing books. And I taught myself how to write comedy, and I went to an open mic and I met comedians there like Jamie Kennedy, and they helped me out to do
Nice.
other shows like Willie Barcena and Paul Rodriguez.
And
Oh,
Gabriel
wow.
Iglesias, right?
Gabriel Iglesias, yes.
I mean, he has a whole bit about you.
So basically, with comedy, you kind of found your purpose, and then through that, you
Yes.
got out of drugs. You could go to rehab, and then kind of, walk your way to where
Yeah,
you're
because
at.
I was always funny, but didn't know how to make it into a career or go up on stage and make strangers funny.
Well, you're clearly doing a good job
Yeah,
now.
man. Not only are you doing a good job, but man, you're making friends everywhere you go,
Yeah.
including white people from the town of Township
Yes.
and the constable too.
Constable, bro.
Look this
Thank
guy
you.
up. Bad Decisions tour is coming to a region near you, if not a town near you. Check out the What's Up Fool podcast and translate this
And
on
translate
HBO.
this on HBO.
Felipe'sWorld.com.
There you go, man.
Perfect.
Thank
Dennis,
you
take
so
us out.
much, Felipe.
Watch me on
Gracias.
Superstore.
Oh, that's right. You're on that too. All right. Thank you, Felipe, for
Play a
joining.
warehouse guy. That's why I quit my warehouse job to play a warehouse guy.